Hey guys, we got a new kind of video on this one. We got money stories from the internet. I asked my wife to pick out some crazy money stories so we could all kind of learn from other people's mistakes so we don't make them. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, babe, for taking time out of your day to look up some stories. Bear with my reading. I haven't read these yet. There's not a day that goes by that I don't beat myself up for this and wonder how life could have been better if I had been a bit more financially savvy. I feel like that's a lot of people. Basically, in my early 40s now, and about 7 years ago, I received an inheritance of about $400,000. Sorry, $600,000. Oh man, I just have a feeling all this money's just gonna be gone. That's a good chunk. That could like pay off a house. I had also scrimped for years to accumulate savings and amount $500,000. So what? This guy just has like over $1 million. So all in, yeah, he had $1.1 million in the bank. Crazy to think. At that time, I was also unemployed and so ended up using some of it to survive. So that alone, I mean, you could use that to like pay off your house, your debts, and you could, live a little bit more comfortably, but there's always going to be expenses like groceries that you're going to have to pay for, so that could eat that away quick. I also had to use some to get out of an unhealthy marriage. Oh no. And with my then toddler, and moved us from the country and to set ourselves up in the city where I got a job. Albeit, that's how you spell albeit? I never used that word before. A low-paying one. While I do have many years of experience, I took up work in teaching to have flexibility. Well, how'd you just save up $500,000? Like, you need some type of experience and knowledge to do that. It took a few years of working hard, but I managed to double my income and now finally in a position where I'm doing all right. Nevertheless, in 7 years, I blew most of the money and now have $300,000 left. 1.1 to 300,000. I mean, even if you got like a house, you definitely blew a bunch there in between. Even if you bought a house, in a different area, which I am fighting tooth and nail to keep and grow. I feel very disappointed in myself that I did not make wiser decisions. For instance, buying a small flat and renting it out. I mean, you do have to live, at least in the short term, kind of get yourself situated and then kind of move on from there. I wouldn't say that's a waste. Unless you're paying a ridiculous amount, then maybe. Renting it out, even if I had to take out a small bond. What? We would have been in such a more comfortable position now. Any feedback, no matter how harsh, as long as it's helpful, would be appreciated because I can't seem to forgive myself for this. I have never had any debt, which I suppose is one good thing. I mean, that's miles ahead of most people. So, I mean, having $300,000 no debt, that's good. In case you're wondering, I always lived pretty frugally. The money went on medical aid, school, rent, food, and that kind of thing over 7 years to supplement my income. That's life, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't need to supplement it, but I just feel so dumb that I thought I could ever make back that money. I mean, listen, if you're looking at it if you take a step back, you kind of had to get yourself situated again. Seeing that huge amount going from 1.1 million down to 300,000, I could see why. But I mean, it seems like you kind of resituated yourself and, got into another house. Doesn't seem like you have any debt, so honestly, it seems decent. I mean, you're in your 40s, so you certainly have time. I mean, you doubled your income, so you're on the right path. I feel like a lot of people get setbacks, especially when you're setting yourself up. That could just set a lot of people back. So having that mindset, like, hey, you were able to do that once before. You saved $500,000. Most people can't save half a dollar. So I was thinking that whole amount was just going to be gone. So at least you have some left. You kind of learn from it, build from it. This isn't the worst story. I feel like that's what a lot of people do, though, when you get inherited money of, let's say, like $1 million. People live off that $1 million where it just eventually dwindles to nothing. What you have to learn how to do is make that $1 million create more wealth from you. So, like, if that $1 million is able to make $50,000 for you to live off of yearly. You don't touch the million, you live off of it. Let's see what the next story has. What is the biggest mistake you made after you became rich? Ooh, not many people became rich. So this guy is 34, so early 30s, male. When I was 27, I hit the Mega Millions lottery for $1 million. I know, hard to believe. That's insane. People dream of that, and like you talk at work like, oh, what I would do. Most people probably will blow it. I bring my ticket to the lottery office. They immediately sit me down in this lucky room and bring a press crew. I would automatically like just want to bust out of the room. I wouldn't want to talk to anyone. I would want to live in a basement. I told them no thanks, I'm good on that. Anyway, they tell me to come back for the check in 3 weeks. Come back, they give me a $670,000 check from the Treasury. I'm ecstatic. Brought my money to, first of all, Mega Millions. So that's the thing with taxes. He might have won like $1 million, and after taxes, he's got left with $670,000. Thanks, Uncle Sam. Still a lot of money, I won't pass up on it, but like, come on. Brought my money to a few financial advisors to invest for me. That's pretty smart. I got very impatient with the slow growth, and pulled it out. Decided to buy a mansion. Well, that goes half of it, if not all of it. A mansion for $600,000. It's done after that. Decided to buy a mansion that was beyond repair on an acre of land in a mediocre town. I spent $450,000 on that and had $200,000 left to fix it up. So literally all gone right there. That's why, like, again, $1 million, I won't pass it up on. But like in this economy, that's like a house, pay off some debt, nice vacation, and then it's all gone. Like you need more than $1 million. It's crazy. The goal was to rehab and sell the thing for $450,000. At least he had like an investor's mindset to kind of make money off of it. Probably didn't go that way. That $200,000 was gone before I can get the roof on it. Had to borrow another because the Mega Millions just wasn't enough. To borrow another $200,000, so now he's going into more debt to finish up the job. Sold it for only $750,000. The market was horrible. I wonder what time this was. This was 10 months ago. Mistakes were made. On top of that, the $1 million lottery winnings to $670,000, which was already hijacked. 33% of federal and state taxes, did not include the income tax for that year. So I owed the IRS another $80,000. Oh, what a punch in the stomach. Fast forward today, I'm a landlord with multiple properties and run a successful construction business. I mean, good on you, but like, oh man. I mean, he bought it for $450,000, put $200,000 into it, so that's $650,000. So he's all that money is just in the property. He borrowed $200,000, so he lost money on this property. Went into more debt because he had to borrow $200,000. Oh man, it's crazy because that's only like one bad financial decision, but like it sunk all the money. What kills me is at the end he still owed the IRS more. So think about this. It's $1 million drops to $670,000 minus the income tax. So he would be at $590,000 from $1 million. They just took almost half. Still up the government. We'll see where these other stories go. Let's move on to the third one, I guess. I turned $500 into $10,000. Nice. And lost it all. Yeah, probably. If you make something that quick, you can lose it just as fast. 3 different times. Hopefully my story helps others avoid the mistakes I made. Let's go. I'm writing this for 2 reasons. To help people avoid the same mistakes I made. That's what we're trying to learn here. To get the story off my chest. Like that feeling, I would probably feel like garbage. Last summer, I decided to learn about the stock market. Here we go. I opened a Scottrade account, deposited $500, and started making trades every few days. After 3 months of experimenting, my account was right back where I started, give or take a few bucks. Content with my summer trading, I decided to take a break from stock market until I graduated college in December. Fast forward to January 2014. Alright, so that's like after the Great Recession of '08. Not only was I graduated and working full-time job, but I also had recently learned about options. Famous last or infamous last words of probably a lot of investors. I was intrigued by the possibility of making 100% plus gains in a matter of days or even minutes. Oh my god. Calls, puts, strike prices. I learned what seemed like everything I needed to know, and I felt like I was ready to start trading options. Oh boy. I started by playing the earnings game. Oh no. If you don't know, right after earnings, they release the results and the stock either pops or drops, normally. Everyone uses Netflix, right? Oh boy. Their earnings are tomorrow. Let's put that $500 in Scottrade account into some 370 Netflix calls. I don't want to go too deep into details with options. I'm certainly no expert. But what happens is, let's say, I don't know what the price of Netflix was at that point, but let's say Netflix pops to $400. He buys this option that he could buy it back at 370. So now that the price is 400, he could make a lot of money. In calls, there's 100 shares in a call option. So instead of buying just one share of Netflix stock, you could control 100 shares of Netflix stock. So obviously if Netflix goes up a bunch and you control a lot more, you make a lot more money. We could start off with just that. I made 7x my money off that first trade. That's awesome. Wow, that was easy. $500 into $3,500 in 2 days. That's how people get hooked. Facebook was next. Everyone uses Facebook. My $3,500 grew into $6,000. Then Chipotle, $6,000 into $11,000. I mean, this guy's just hitting bangers. It was probably just a great economy where all of these companies were just doing great with earnings. I turned my $500 into $11,000 in 2 weeks. I was 3 for 3 and I was hooked. I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, everyone would love to do that. You know how careful you usually are in the first $500 you start trading with. Obviously, you don't want to lose anything, so you really go hard into it. But then afterwards, you're probably like, oh, this is easy, and then you start just throwing money in, right? Well, for some reason, the more money you have, the more careless you become, in my case at least. Exactly. I thought I was invincible and decided to put a huge bet on Cisco. Why double 1,000 when I could double 10 grand? You get greedy. I mean, if it worked out for you, you'd be killing it. But, well, Cisco stock didn't go down the 10% I predicted after earnings. My 10 grand, however, went down 100. I lost everything. That's the thing with options. If you... if it doesn't hit that price and you just let it expire, it just disappears. If you use it in a strategized way, you could hedge your portfolio and, you could do good things with it. Or you could lose it all. Oh, man. 3 weeks later, I put 2 grand. So now he lost all his money. So he had 1,000, lost the 10,000. So now he has 1,000 left. And he's putting 2 grand. So he threw another 1,000 into it in Scottrade account and started back into my options trading madness. I was very careful in the beginning. I swore to myself that I would not make the same mistake I made last time. When I made money, I would be smart with it. After a few failed trades, I managed to turn 1,500 that remained of my 2,000. Okay, so we dropped from 2,000 to 1,500, but then turned it into 12,500. Netflix went down quite a bit one day. Yo, option stories are wild. Netflix went down quite a bit that day, and I bought weekly puts. So a put is betting that the stock went down, so it did. As market opened, I was back. The money lasted about 2 days. I made 2 huge bets. That's what I was doing at that point. Betting, gambling, and managed to lose my money all over again. Oh, man. 3 weeks later, 3 grand this time. So he's just trying to go harder. 3rd time's the charm. I will be smart this time. By this time, I had learned about SPY options and decided that SPY options would be there where I would make my money back. So that's just like trading the S&P 500. So this is April 14th, 2014. Lost $100. That's not too bad. Turned 2,900 into 12,500. So he got it. He did it again. in one day, I was somehow able to time the spikes and dips of SPY that day just perfectly. Whew, I did it. I'm back. I swore I was done. Until today. I had my confidence back up from my amazing Tuesday and was extremely cocky and overconfident. SPY looks like it's heading down. Let's pay off those school loans, baby. Well, SPY didn't go down. It went up. And I didn't exit when I should have. Oh, I lost $2,000. I'll get it back. I didn't. So here's the moral of the story. Be smart and make sure emotions don't cloud your judgment. Treat every trade as you did your first trade and don't get sloppy and cocky. Yeah, people just get greedy, man. That's the thing. It's like earnings call. You're flipping a coin. And a lot of people might hit a bunch in a row. That's not intelligence, it's luck. There was that quote in Big Short. What was that? It's like they mistaken intelligence for leverage or something like that. Like, yeah, sure, like if you place a bunch of bets, sure, one of them would hit. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're just going to run out of luck. And if you are lucky to hit those times, like you might as well just take out your principal and then play with, the house's money. Yeah, options, man. I mean, I remember trading some options just to see how it works. They move like crazy. If you know what you're doing, it could work. But I remember I threw like $1,000 into it and it would like drop down to 500 real quick. And I'm like, holy crap. Eventually it got back up to closer to like 900 and then I just sold out. It's more of a learning experience. I'm more of a just hold it and forget long-term investor, Warren Buffett style. A lot of people get impatient, they don't want to work at their job. They want to pay off their student loans now or get a bigger house. So they just want to invest hard and get quick returns. So I don't want this video getting too long. If you guys like it, you could let me know. We could do more videos like this, just learning from people's mistakes. Thanks again, babe, for looking these up. Sometimes that's kind of like the only way to learn is like make mistakes. And if you don't want to make mistakes your own, learn from other people's mistakes. I just feel so bad for these people. At the end of the day, I'm glad it's not me. So let me know your opinions. If you guys like this format, we got a baby crying, gotta go. And I'll see you in the next one. Uh-oh, doesn't sound good.